Hey guys, my name is Seniac and welcome to the first episode of SnowFool. Get it? SnowFool, the word fall, you're a damn fool. Where we are creating a brand new city, a brand new series in this winter wonderland. Now, there's many things going to happen in this series. We have the dynamic weather enabled, which means it can snow. The roads will get filled up with snow, and we've got to then clear the snow. We're on the icy straits where we need to kind of create a hustling and bustling kind of industry network to make sure that we can survive in this Arctic tundra, if that's the best way to put it. And try and prosper. Guys, if you do enjoy this, want to see more of this series, then make sure you smash that like button down below. And if you are new around here, make sure you do subscribe so you get notified when that next episode does come out. But there is some very, very, very interesting infrastructure already implemented in this this beautiful map right now. Now, this is a map that I did get off the Steam Workshop, and it looks quite interesting to begin with. What you can already see straight away is the vast expansion of the water strait, that ice-cold water right now, which we can utilize to create the perfect shipping industry. We have a couple of points of interest when it comes to utilizing the land. We have the highway and a train line tearing through all the little mountains. It kind of goes up, but the train tracks go along the shorefront here. And it just kind of tears through the landscape right now. You can see some kind of dried up shallows of where the water maybe once used to run from a huge basin. I don't know. We have this little roundabout over here which kind of tunnels into... I don't actually know where that actually tunnels into right now. We have some interesting infrastructure. We've got this beautiful little T here for the highways kind of connecting up. And a very interesting intersection. Yes, very interesting. But nice, decent bit of flat land that we can utilize to build on right now. The bridge going across to another decent bit of a peninsula, which is very, very flat right now, which looks pretty sweet. We have down here some keyed walls already off, so this is kind of like, you know, hinting of where we can create our beautiful import and export industry area. And again, yeah, another interesting kind of setup for how they implement the highway system, which kind of brings in with another train track as well, which is very interesting. Huge mountains shadowing over us, which looks kind of crazy, and another highway system and train line tearing all the way through. That's pretty cool how that all connects right there. And then Skadoodle's out of here. Oh my goodness me, can we survive in this hospitable environment? Well, we're gonna find out. Welcome to SnowFool. So I'm gonna change the name of the city, obviously. This is SnowFool. Get it? Like SnowFool, snow falls down, but it's not fool, it's you're a fool, because I'm a fool and you damn fool. You guys get it, right? You guys get it. Anyway, welcome. So we are going to be doing many things right now. Now, I did it previously, a few years back, a series on a snowy map. And I feel like snow maps are very, very highly underrated. And they don't get as much kind of credit as like a normal style map. Everyone loves the normal grassy or deserty, but not many people play on a snowy map right now, and I love them. I love the dynamic weather that we have on it. So often at times it will snow, and when it does snow, snow falls onto the road, thus causing chaos for your road network, and you have to then place down these, where are they right now? Is it here? Yes. Well, one, you need a road maintenance depot, but you also then need the snow dumps. And then snowplows come out and clear the roads for you. That's pretty cool. It's not a mod. It's in the base game. Not many people know about that because, like I said, not many people play on a snow map. So we need to find out the perfect start, which I feel like we're going to do it within here. Now, I've got kind of a rough idea of how I want to build and kind of start the city. And for some reason in my head, I've just got this feeling that I want to do a slightly sunken highway and then elevate the city above it. Now, I've done this before in the past. Sometimes it doesn't go too well. Sometimes it causes a lot of traffic. But this wouldn't be a Seniac city if we didn't have traffic issues, would it, boys? No, it would not. So like I said, boy, you want to see more of this? Smash that like button down below. Subscribe if you are new so you get notified when more episodes do come out. So, what we'll do then, we'll start with this sunken highway, because that is going to be how we then build off it to create our city. Now, the highway already comes in. I might kind of delete this bit and kind of change it. And looking at how it ends, it kind of ends at this peninsula here, and we kind of also have like a miniature one here. I reckon we should bring the road in, take it down here, and then kind of end it. Reason for it being, if I build my shipping industry here, we're going to have a lot of cargo coming in and out. So I want the highway to kind of bypass it so we can kind of turn off it and connect to it. And then over here, this side here, we can slowly start to build the city. And then eventually we'll progress into a metropolis area on the other side of the river. Ooh, that would be very exciting, wouldn't it? I think it would. So let's start then with how I'm going to build this all up. So let's go to our roads, and we'll start with the 4-lane road. So select you, and we'll keep it nice and simple, no dramas. So we want the highway to kind of run down, but I'm going to create little segments to where the sunken highway connects to an overpass. So basically I'm going to build the overpasses first, and I reckon, you know what, forget the 4-lane highway, we'll use these roads right now to utilize these as marker points. So if I stick 10 away from this, and just kind of come to the end there, and that there, so that's a 20-ish 5. Where's the center point to all of this? Is that it? 10. Kind of ish a little bit. So if I utilize you as the center point and then bring you directly up, like that. Right, so that's where I'm going to have one road that kind of cuts through. So I can use each of these entry points here as the main overpass road that then kind of skedoodle out and then go in different directions. It makes sense in my head, so you're going to have to kind of bear with me on this one, guys. You're going to have to kind of bear with me on this one as your boy figures it all out. So bringing this across here, that is where it kind of connects. So that will be the center point just there. So I'm going to bring this up a little bit just there right now. I'm going to bring this one across to there, which is the center point. It's roughly here. It's not there, but it's roughly there. That's all it really matters right now. And then if I come across here, so I can't really go the full shebang that way because it kind of ends. But like I just kind of randomly pick here 10 and the 6. So if I went by the 6, came out to about there. Yeah, we'll work with that. So bringing the roads up, these are where we're going to have our main overpasses. Now, we'll still probably need 1 or 2 more that will kind of take us in the direction that we need to go. But we can kind of now figure out where we're technically going to run this. We probably need one going across here as well. So these will all eventually, they'll go straight over, and they might do a little bend going down that way. I'm going to need one here as well, which is quite important. So where do these two connect? So where these connect like this, glorious, mate. We're going to pick one, I wouldn't say at random, but if I went across by a 60 and then down, how is the 60 there looking? Now it's quite close to a connection here, which is fine. We'll have this one, but then it's going to cause a big open gap here. Do I need another one? Do I need to do one right on the Chrissy cross right now? I don't think I do. I think we'll come to that when we come to it. So let's sort out this sunken highway then. This is where the interesting bit's now going to all come from it. So we're going to get to highway. Now we are going to end up spending quite a bit of money, but I have my ways to make money, so there's going to be no issues there. And we're going to utilize the 2-lane highway as well. So where would the middle bit be? Where can we base this all off? So do you know what? I'm going to stick to these rural roads because I can kind of use the parallel tool to get me all set up. Now if I went and utilized that road, road there is going to be basically the center of the 2 highway roads. So that's where I'm ultimately going to run it. So if this continued to go up, and obviously we're going to get to a certain point where it then turns. So if I go to, let me just continue it. We get to a certain point where it turns, and I reckon that's where we make these roads then start to turn. So if I come off this point here, and then bring in you, so bring the 10 out, because you also got to think about as well where the bend's going to take place. So if I delete back, actually if I delete back a bit here, And say I picked here. I've got quite a bit of space before it then starts to bend. So I could do a 20. Right. And then we can stick to our little 8x8. And there's our first overpass. Well, we got 3 overpasses now, technically, all set up. Alright, sweet, mate. And what's that space between these? That is a... Oh, do you know what I should do? I should try and stick it to 60 by 60, shouldn't I? Then the next 60, which will be just there. So is that a 60? Yeah. That's where I should stick the connections. So I don't know how I'm going to do this one because it's going to be quite close. It might be a little bit too close. Actually, no. So 31... So if I went 20, is there room for a 10 by 10 bend? Oh, there is. There freaking is. So that's that connection there. The next one by 60, which would end up being just here. So up by 10. And then bringing this out. So 45, so if I do 35, 10 by 10 bend. Look at us go, boys. Look at us go right now. And it all runs into where we'll have our harbour area, which is quite important for the imports and exports, but then also run into the city. So there's straight roads through, and you can join the highway. That's where we need to make sure that we don't kind of overcomplicate things and cause too many issues. To be honest with you, I'm hoping this is going to be enough space with the 60s in between. Now, that one's going to be pushing up a little bit further anyway, so I can't really do much with that. But this is where the road then technically bends. Now, we'll get rid, right, of the highway here right now. Because I don't want this to kind of dictate where I run the rest of the road. Because we can kind of bend or stuff to it anyway. But I do know at some point we're going to have to basically cause a little bit of a crissy-cross. So if I went to this 80 point here and then went straight across by 30 and then by a 30, right, that road there is this road here, and it will kind of go straight there and then bend up. So we do a little bit of a swiggy swag bend, and this should work. So if I go back a bit there. Now, where does this bend take place? Now, this is quite a large bend. That'll be a 26 by a 26. It was like it was meant to happen. It was like it was meant to happen. So with this then, this is the interesting bit now, because I could run it parallel with the train line. And I'm going to kind of lose out slightly. So if I just go to there. And if I then go to here with this. If I ran that down to here for just a moment. 11 by 11. And then we connect in. Oh, what happened then? Damn. All over the place. That then becomes our highway. We'll kind of delete back a bit, as that will then kind of bend to merge in. So you can see where the highway is going to run. Now, very interesting. Very interesting. We're going to use the parallel tool right now to run the highway both sides. We're going to sink it down. And for now, I reckon we only create one overpass just to get us connected. And then start to build the city. So I can then start making some money. So I don't keep losing the money, if you know what I mean. And I reckon we'll utilize this one to be our first one. And we'll only build the highway to this at this moment in time. So we are going to first then, we'll first delete this back here, so we know that's going to connect. That's fine. And then we'll use the parallel tool right now. Oh, hold on, before I do this, I've also got to delete this section. Yeah, there's no other connections, is there? No. And then we're going to select the parallel tool. So we select here and we'll end it. Oh, actually, we got to go a bit further than that. Yep, to there. And we'll end it just here. So this is what we now need to remember. We're going to do a highway, 2-lane highway. Oh, where did my parallel go? Oh, damn it. Right, let's try that again. Right, to here. And to here. Right, so we need to figure this out. So it's currently a 14.5 5, which, to be honest with you, that would be fine, because when I build the other on the other side, I'm going to delete the road in the middle, and then that should be perfect, right? I mean, I could make it a bit smaller. I could make it an 11, or let's go for a 12. So if I do 12 and press enter, and then press tab to flip it, which is also set to 12, we now have double highways in, all paralleled. I was about to say paralysed then for a second. All paralleled in. And we got a 12 each side, so that road in the middle will be deleted. And it will kind of create our space in between. So, all we're then going to do is I'll delete down to here. Is now delete all of this. And we then have our highway running through. Which is perfectly set up to where we want our overpasses. Now, the only downside is our overpasses, you can already tell what's going to happen. They're just going to be your standard ones. No roundabouts. So we need to set up our lane management perfectly to be able to, be able to handle the amount of traffic coming through. So let's start with this one first. We need to technically sync these down. So if I now grab all of these, I don't actually know what level we're going to sync them down to. Do you know what I should actually do? I should just work with this area first. We'll just work with this area to begin with. So we'll go to here. Right. And then we'll page them down. We'll sync them down. And then we'll play around with the height of it in just a moment. But that's how it's going to sync down. And then we need to make sure that we change up now this to a 4-lane road. So there's many different variations a 4-lane road could go. We could even go to the 5-lane with the extra lane in, which will give us the asymmetrical turning circle for when you crisscross over. Now I know this is gonna be we've got to elevate all this, by the way. That's an 11 going up and over, so that's 14. So I then need to go 25, and that creates the same distance either side right now. So that road there gives us the asymmetrical kind of setup. So if I do the on and off ramps, you get the turning, but it doesn't really matter because you can have turning from both sides. So I think for now, we'll just straight up keep it 4-lane road until we do need to change it and bulk it up a bit further. That's pretty much what we'll do. Now, we'll keep it elevated like that because we're going to create the slip roads and they're going to dig into this slight hill. So then from here, I'll bring this out by a 20, and then we'll upgrade this by a 20 as well. So that's going to be my first one. We'll get the slip roads in, and then from this, we'll then judge how high or low the highway needs to be. So back to the highway roads then. We're going to use our little highway ramp. Now, it's always easier to implement it first on a straight bit of road. So let's get this in. Now, do I want to connect it to there? That would mean we are so far away. So if I went in by... If I did a 5 and connected in, and did the same here, a 5 and connect in, that one feels a tad bit closer to the other one. So we got a space of 5 there, space of 5 there. It's all sound, it's all there. But that one feels slightly closer. Is it because it's starting to bend away, do you reckon? Do you reckon that's what it is? But, so what's that going up, by the way? That's a 10. We'll also do a 10 here. And we'll do a 10 here. And then we'll utilize the highway road. So this is exiting. Alright, it's not going to like me doing this, is it? Alright, this is going to be exiting. So what you say, a 15? That's a 15. Alright, this is going to be quite difficult to get these in. A 15. That's a 14. Right, I don't really want it to snap. A 15 as well. So we are so close to being there at this point. So close. We've just now got to set up these little bends. So we've got to push these out. Oh, I'm on the wrong section here. Push these slightly out. And you create the bend there. And then you kind of almost got to bring that back in, which is quite difficult to do. But at the same time, sometimes it's not worth it. It's just easier to create the bend. Now, if I upgrade this, and this. Quickly upgrade these roads. Flip round to the right direction. And then we'll smoothen them all off. So we push this out. So I think in reality all we need to do is bend the top one. And it should run in quite nicely. Now this is an interesting one because it automatically starts to bend away. Like that. So if I then delete the excess here. And this is where we got to now figure out the height differentials between them. So how high is that? Do you know what? I think we've got it pretty bang on. I don't think we need to make it any higher or any lower. So what I could do now, back to the 4-lane road, is now sync this little section. Same with this here. So it's only the bit that goes over the highway, which is it. We need to do our lane math right now. So we need to then, as soon as it's 2-lane here, splits off 1, this becomes a singular lane, which will also give us a little bit more room to terraform in. Singular lane going all the way down. Sweet, sweet, sweet. But as they approach here, we'll split this into a 2-lane. So we're giving them 2 options of going right and left. Same for here. Same for entering as well. So, and we'll merge them in. So it means we can then make 2 vehicles turn off or on at once. Now looking at this, I feel like it's slightly to the left, which is really weird. Have I calculated this correctly? So if I went from, let's just say here. Oh no, if I go from here to here is a 7. Here to here is a 5. Wow, I have hugely miscalculated that if that's the case. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll select all of this minus, right, the highway. How have I miscalculated that so bad? I have no idea how I've managed to do that. But it's easy to fix anyway, just got to push it over by 1. Hopefully it doesn't mess up anything. Right, none of this here matters because I'm going to delete it. So what I'll do is I'll delete you, and then we'll get them back in. So everything there, all I got to do is press the right arrow, moves over by 1. Or I might have to do it by 2. So I've done it by 2 because I'm not sure if it moves over by like 1 segment or whatnot. So if I go back to this now, that there is a 6. This here is a 6. Okay, you've seen it for yourself right now, guys. That was perfect. Right, delete you. Right, that really doesn't matter. But now come off this. Okay, go back to the node snapping. So go out by 20. And this just needs to run into there in reality. Very good. Very good. So that is now pretty much all set up. So now that we've moved it over slightly, I think now we'll just need to slightly... Oh. Okay, that's interesting because now it would have changed my approaches here. Ah, that's interesting. Who would have thought we've been having these issues right now? So if I bulk this up... Actually, if I delete this... Take this straight into there. Oh, you know what? I've just realised it's actually snowing. There's your 15. Right, move this. Oh, I'm on the wrong one. Move this down. I'm just going to make sure that we get it looking semi-symmetrical. Just going to upgrade this road again. Oh, and then flip this. And I think that's as much as you can ask for. Obviously, this one's now completely thrown out. Oh, the thunder and lightning, boys. The thunder and lightning. I'm going to push that up slightly. Push that back out. Maybe bring this one down by 1 and then bring this slightly in. Right, you can get fixated on all this, but I think that will be perfectly fine. That'll be perfectly fine right now. The snow is starting to build up on my roads. We're going to need some snow dumps ASAP right now. Right, okay, so that's all good. That's sweet. That's great. And then what we'll then do is smoothen out just ever so slightly. Let's just quickly pause some of the land. So it's not deemed as harsh. Obviously, it will be underneath this bit here. But then coming away from it, not too much. But it's going to be like that because that's it. We can always key wall it to kind of block it all off. And then because this will be sunken, we'll have a lot of roads that overpass anyway that have no particular connection. So not everybody has to utilize this junction to get from one side to the other. So that's pretty much how it will all kind of be. So last thing we need to do is we need to kind of then angle all these just right. So we use the set slope tool right now, and then we just correct the slopes. There we go. It's my favorite tool, this is. And then we'll do one last little bit of smoothing because it can add a little bit more into the mix. So now we've got our first one down, and that will be the poster child for everything else that we now kind of build moving forward. We are then going to select, if I quickly pause, how much money have I got left? Okay, I haven't really spent that much money. We'll select these two here, and we'll say to them that you need to be the same object height of, for example, this here. So then that there will be the same height there. So then with the same tool that I just used, right, I could go from here and hoping that it goes all the way. It doesn't. How far does it go? You kind of have to like divide it. Oh wait, no, it doesn't go that far because you first got to go to here, and then will that go to all the way to the end? Yes. So that then will sync all of that, and then do the same again. So we first go to here and then to there. Oh, wrong button. Just press my Discord button, and that will sync all of that as well. So that's now all sunken down. That is now all the same height going all the way through. So when it comes to now building other junctions, it's all pretty sweet. So I could, like I said, I could smoothen it all out like this. Like that, so you don't really notice it. Or I can keep it quite harsh and key wall it. That's just something we'll have to decide in the future. There's nothing stopping me key walling it. To be honest with you, I can create some pretty cool looking cities that, you know, overpass all of this, which is pretty sweet. But yeah, very interesting. So when it comes now to the lane management, let's quickly sort this out. So when you come in here, you split there, obviously. Same thing happens over here, and there's a node just after, so I'm going to have to make sure that we also sort that one out. Now, this is the interesting bit. No one turning off here wants to go straight ahead. So this will be set to turn right. You'll be set to turn left. Double lanes here. You're crossing over there. You're the turn left lane here. This is going straight ahead. And this is the turning off one just there. We'll have a node in the middle which they crisscross if they need to change up. But then the same thing pretty much happens here. This goes that way. Oh, no, wrong one, sorry. I thought it was on the other side then for a second. This goes to there. You turn that way. You're turning here. There we go. You're turning just that way. And then you're going this way. Making sure that there's no traffic lights. There we go. No traffic lights at all on these junctions. And everything should flow pretty smoothly. So we'll only do this one to begin with, for now. We'll only do this one for now. We're going to get it connected all the way up, and we'll utilize the connection tool to do this. So from here to here, and we'll go big on the connection tool. We'll go as big as it will allow us to go before it messes up. Just there. Oh, I've got the wrong style of road connected to it. And then same for this. Go big or go home. Alright, there it is. Just quickly upgrade that to a 2-laner. And we'll sort all the lane map and all that, because I know the lane map and all this is not really sorted out, because that's what was default in the game. But who am I to judge? Who am I to judge? Right, so we pretty much got all that in then. We know where the rest of the overpasses are going to be. Like I said, this might be a little bit too close for an overpass. So it might be a case where I don't utilize one here. I just put one there instead. That could just be like a normal overpass road. Because I feel like that's going to be way too close for a junction. It's not enough space in between the junctions for them to turn on and off. This one would be perfectly fine. But having one there, there, and there, I think I just have to utilize just one here and leave it as that. Or I save it for further down here. Probably be the best option. But we still have the roads that overpass anyway, so that's not a problem. So you just got to try and find what works. That's literally all you can do. So this is pretty cool then. So we do need to start making some cash. We really do need to start making some cash right now. So let's kind of now implement the rest of these 4-lane roads. So whether I upgrade them back to be trees at some point and give them a little bit of life in this city, I might do in the future. But this is ultimately going to run right down. Now what we'll do is we'll bring this, let's just say just down to here to begin with. It's a straight road down where everything all happens into whatever ends there. But these roads here will also be 4-lane roads too. Now I don't want to create this ultimate grid fest, even though I'm pretty much going to end up creating an ultimate grid fest. I also want to have roads that run parallel in 4-lane style. So we'll kind of create that little connection going through that way as well. So we know where it's all going to kind of split up and connect to. Which this will probably bend and go down in that direction. And then this here will connect to it. Whatever road going... I mean, it could actually just split or follow this road through. You just don't know how it's going to play out. So what I'll do, I'll delete this road. So I'm not kind of getting too hung up on that. But all these are going to be 4-lane roads. This is going to crisscross and go in that way. So let's continue the skadoodling through all of this. So where that goes, I'm not 100% just yet. But I do know this is how the roads are going to run. Because I need to have the capacity. If I'm doing the highway like this, it is going to cause traffic issues. So I need to have the capacity on the above ground roads. And look at this right now. We've already got the snow symbol saying that there's too much snow on the road, so we need the snow plows out. Which is fine. We'll get onto it shortly. So let me now smoothing all this out here, just so there's no little bumps and whatnot. I want to try and keep it nice and smooth, nice and flat. And we'll look towards now then, boys, starting to build a bit of area where people can live. So we'll base it off this. Nothing too crazy going on. And I really do like the rural roads. These are my favourite type of road in the game at this moment. And we'll come off here. Well, we've got to figure out where the crisscross point is. So going down by 10, which is here, which I can't go down by 10, I've got to go down by 11. So 11 is there, to then go up by an 11, which is there. And then this here, go 10, go 10 and delete this. I've got my point there, because it always leaves me room if I ever need to drop a roundabout in. That's what it does. So we've already got a 10 there. So if I went down by a 20, is that 20? It's not really a 20, that is it? Right, let me delete this. Because it is throwing off my whole grid vibe. So that there becomes a 30. And I move over by an 11. I'll do another 30 and an 11. And then another 30 just here. And 11. So they're the connections for each of these areas. There's me saying I don't want to do a grid. And what am I doing, guys? I'm doing a grid. So 39 there. Take 11 away, which will be 28. And then bring this down again by a 30. Straight over. Right, let me delete this. Down by a 30. Straight in. And then down by a 30. And then straight in. And then we'll have like our little C walked wall, if you want to call it. So this comes out by an 11. This comes out by an 11. And this comes out by an 11. So this is what we'll do. We'll build this grid here, and then everything else will kind of sprawl off it. And this will be all low density, not too crazy. It's just going to be perfect for us. So as the road is going that way, I reckon we can either run it up this way, or no, we'll continue to run it this way. So to keep the traffic off the through roads is probably the better option for us. But I also do have the option to run a road directly through the middle of it all. But I don't think I'm going to do that. But I also need to create a little bit of a city park. So we're going to sacrifice, right, this middle area in being our little city park, okay? And that's how we're going to make the money to make sure we don't go bankrupt straight away. Because I'm already spending 1,200 right now in outgoings. Which is crazy money. Unless I can run down here and create a smaller park. But it all depends on what space is remaining. Do you know what? That's enough space. That will work really well. I could put a road through here. But I reckon I'll do it via paths. Because I want to try and make this city, you know, as walkable as possible to reduce as much traffic as we possibly can. So if I pick the center point, so what is the center point here? That there is a 18, so you're looking at a 9. Is that the 9? Yes. So if I went here to here, there to there, there to there, do the same thing then going down. Like that. This is what makes this city walkable. Then we have to create and utilize our node controller. So we add it in, and then we're going to make sure that each one of these is a crossing. Right, which takes a little bit while to kind of do. So that's one. It's kind of made our path go a bit funky. But then they're going to be able to utilize the park area so much. If I put a park entrance on these as well, oh, it's going to make my life absolutely beautiful. And it's going to make me a lot of cash money moolah as well. Put the schools around here. We know all the tricks and tips, boys. We know all the tricks and tips right now. Oh, I keep clicking off it. What am I doing? All right, cross in, bam, cross in, bam, and I'll do one there because you never know on the opposite side. Cross in. I did get one down here, didn't I? Yeah. So this is going to make this area so much more approachable for pedestrians, which is glorious. So now that I've done that, we're actually going to delete all of this again. Because it doesn't quite align to your boy's chakras when it comes to building this. So 4-lane road, run this to here. You get that sweet little grid view. No issues, no dramas. Running this straight up. Because sometimes you get that where it kind of goes slightly off grid. And you don't quite get them all matched up. Beautiful. Beautiful, mate. So that there, like I said, is an 11 away. 10, 11, connecting. Sweet. Now, for some reason, we've got it here. And I don't know why, but, you know, it is what it is. I ain't going to complain too much. But there we go. This is the first little section, the first little area. Now, the only entry points are here, 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 and then down at the bottom. Would we require entry points here and here? Well, I think the only one you would really then want is on this point. And then it should scarce the traffic away. So 11... Where does that then now run to? What is this? That's a 19... That's a 19. So you're only running at 19s at this point. 19. 19. And if I do the famous 30. That's what I mean by this. You just don't, it just doesn't want to be perfect, does it? It doesn't want to be perfect. You can't help it, boys, that your boy's perfect right now, but you know what I mean. Right, 30 here. So once we've set this up, then we can actually start getting people moving and living here. So straight down. Now this one here, I will do the center going through. Bit different to how we've done this one, but there's no reason that I need this to be anything else. So that's the 30 there, but we're going to be then splitting into this. So it's a case of I can run up to the 30, but you're only getting the 30 to this point. And it makes an interesting decision to how we then do the buildings alongside the highway like that. Now, is this enough here to run? Not really, so I can kind of bring these down. Bring this up by a 20. And that's how we all budget. Great. Now, you could be arguing, saying it's going to put a lot of pressure on these junctions here. There's nothing stopping us building an underpass to connect over. We know all the tricks and tips at this point. We know all the tricks and tips. Hold on, I didn't do my rural section here. So 8 by 11. That's 8 by 11. So I then should be able to run the 4-lane road. Like that. Like that. Glorious, mate. A very, very humble beginning. A very humble beginning right now. We'll see how long this lasts. Right, so I think we're ready to start building the city. So we always start with the city park and build the city around it for good reason. The city park makes us money. And I always name the city park after the first resident that does move in. So if I build this here, now it's not perfectly centered, but that's okay. Our city park we're going to build right now. There we go. We're going to build it after our founding father, the first person that moves into the area. We need some side gates right now. So the side gates go on all of these little sections there. We'll then also drop one here and here and here and here. All the points of entry from each of these roads cutting through. And then drag the road straight over from there and there. Or not the road, sorry, the path. And then take it up and down. It's only a small park, but it should do everything I need it to do. So we're going to add in right now what's needed. Get everything squeezed in. Trying to maximize what I can place in here to increase the entertainment values, which will ultimately mean higher ticket prices. Right, we have to kind of clip that one through. Bam. And we're bam. Right, there we go. Very, very basic looking. So now we're nearly up to $2,000 that we're now spending. So increase that ticket price there to 20, and we're pretty much ready and good to go. So we're gonna need to get the utilities in. So let's first grid off the old water system. So run it with the roads. Run it with the roads. There we go. Now, rather than going straight down like this, which I could do, we'll then pick a point and run straight up. And then the final point left over. There we go. So we now need to figure out where we're doing all our sewage and stuff and our water. So this is going to be quite important. I reckon for now we'll just throw it over here, and then at some point we'll build a proper water treatment plant and whatnot. Okay, so we'll pump up the water, and we'll utilize. I'm trying to think of what's going to be minimalistic in terms of spending money. So I'll pump up the water from here for now. We'll have our sewage coming out of one of these little basins. That's fine. So run you up into there, and then just simply have one of these come down in their straight line. There we go. There we go. And then it needs a little bit of power, doesn't it? So for this over here, we'll just throw down a wind turbine just to power both of them. So we'll have the water, we just don't quite have the power at this moment in time. Now we also need to have like some type of an industrial area to provide jobs for them. So if I get quickly create a very, very basic industrial area, this is then where I can pretty much set up my power source. So we're just going to utilize it here. So that sticks out. Actually, let me delete this. So that's a 10 and an in. So if I go up by a 30 and bam, and then bam. Very basic industrial area. We'll quickly give it some water. We'll throw down a little bit of a power station. So we'll do a coal plant. I don't know why I needed that wind turbine now at this point, but it's in. It's in. Nothing I can do now. Right, we'll run this from the back because I can also do zoning down there. And then we'll bring this across to here and then run this right down to wherever I need then the power. Okay, so residential demand that we've got. So let's spend this wisely. Let's pause. So residential, we'll place the residential. Well, that's kind of weird how we can now go into that, can't we? Well, let's do it like this. Residential. All the way down to here and to here. Now we'll place down some stores. Here and here. So they've all got to walk into this area to get to the shopping district. And then we'll leave it like that. We'll leave it like that, and we've got to give them a little bit of time for people to get over here. Also, I need to move the snow. Now that it stops snowing, I need my little snow dump, which we'll also place. I'll place just here. So they should automatically now bring out a bunch of vehicles. Give them power. They've got water. So the vehicle's now going out and it should start collecting the snow. We need to get our power now technically connected over. And then it's pretty much all up and running. I'm spending so much money on the weekly right now to get this place rocking and rolling. So we're now just a case of waiting for the first resident to appear. And they will appear via the highway. So fast forward. And now we wait. Oh, there we go. They've just picked up all the snow. It's glorious, isn't it? This area is gonna be hustling about snow. Oh, there we go. Who are you? You are a ore truck. Oh, delivering to the coal plant. Okay, you're not an actual person wanting to move here. Okay, we should maybe come up to here a bit. It would be this junction here is where we'll see our first car. I wonder how long we're going to have to wait. Oh, there we go. There we go. There is... Okay, then there's technically someone on a moped. But are they going to be the first person to turn into the city? That is the real question. So they're on their way. I'm sure I turned off traffic lights. It's not the person on the moped. It's this person here. Siobhan Lee. Where's the person on the moped then? Oh no. Who would it have been? Albert Wilson. Now, even though Siobhan has overtaken Albert, I feel bad for Albert. He came in here on a moped. Now, he was technically the first one in the lead on the highway. Now, do I name it after your boy Albert Wilson? He did come on a moped, guys, in the snow. That's brave, innit? Not like Siobhan in a car with heaters on. The damn fool. Right, there's Siobhan anyway. Where's she going? Right, she's out. She's out. But I feel like, seeing as Albert was the first one to enter, I feel like I want to rename it after him. Because he did come on a moped, guys. Albert Wilson Park, our founding father, came here from places unknown on a moped. He travelled through 10 foot of snow blizzards to get here on a moped. What a legend. What an absolute legend. Right, there we go. People are now arriving to the city. People are now arriving to the city. Are the traffic lights actually turned off here? No. I didn't turn them off, did I? I pressed the wrong button. What a fool. What a fool. So there we go. We now have a little bit of a hustle and bustle, and it's now starting to snow again. Beautiful. We do have a little bit of an industrial demand, so we'll spend that demand just over here for now, then, just to kind of get the city, up and running. Provide those jobs. And we'll see him interacting with this a little bit more as well. So we're going to need all the services. So just as we're kind of making progress to kind of no longer go bankrupt, we have to then spend a little bit more money on the services. Now, they're going for the park. Yeah, they are starting to go for the park, which will start generating some money, but not as much money as you would kind of like at the minute. So we need to buy all the services then. Where should I place these services? I feel like up here is probably a better shout for them. So we'll do a small little fire department. We'll do a small little police department. They all need power. Protecting the city and all that jazz. Protecting the city and all that jazz, mate. And how is the job market over here then? Oh, okay, the factory's now booming, which is good to see. We got 500 people in our population already. So it's a very humble start. It's a very, very humble start. I will need to get a school in, some medical care in. Someone's already died. How have you died already? I mean, then again, it is nearly minus 20 degrees. Maybe they froze to death. They most likely froze to death, didn't they? Dear God. What is this place? What is this place right now? Right, is the park still making that good cash? Not so much. So the little trick at the park is to then place a school near it. Now we've got a little bit of eligibility. And we have that capacity which will kind of be enough for them for quite some time. You'll now start seeing more people going through the park to get to the school. Thus generating us a little bit more revenue. But it's all about that growth. We just got to keep growing the city until we reach those peaks. Oh, we need garbage. I just realized we need garbage, guys. So, oh, snap. Okay, what's going to be cheap to run? The recycling center? We're already producing 27,000 units. The recycling center does 24,000. That's not good. The incinerator is a lot of money, but it also does produce some power. But also causes quite a bit of pollution. We'll go for the incinerator for now. Because it kind of also gives us a little bit of power, which could be handy. Oh, snap. I'm spending money left, right, and center, boys. He's spending money left, right, and center. We're going to need medical care, and we're going to need a crematorium as well to get rid of that one dead body. But there's a lot more people now moving in, as you can now see. I'm seeing a lot more vehicles now enter the area, which is absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing, boys. The park itself, still not making that big cash. What's going on, park? Why you not attract the citizens? You damn fools. Do I need more Chrissy Crossies on the roads? You're meant to be making me the big bucks. Maybe it's not big enough. Maybe I gotta force it into these areas as well and push the commercial over. Who knows? But we're not that. It's not that bad. It's not all bleak. Don't worry. It's not all bleak. Now, before we bring our first episode to an end, guys, we're gonna try and see what it will look like with a key wall. So if I bring up the key wall, right? I want to kind of. Oh, I could also go for the city key with trees. Right, okay, let's just go normal to begin with. I want to attempt something here, guys. I want to attempt something. So let me bring up the parallel tool. And if I went to here and then ran it down to... How far should I take it? There, and let's just bring it to here. I flip it so it's on that side. Now, it's currently set to 32. I don't know if this is going to be the right number. Actually, I don't know what the right number is going to be, so I'm going to do a small little patch to begin with. So 32, what it's set to by default, that's where it key walls it, over there. Now, is that a little bit too short? Not too short, sorry, a little bit too far away. So if I bring that down, let's say I pick a 20. Should I key wall this? Now what I'll do here is obviously set the whole key wall here. Oh! No, I didn't mean to delete it. And set it to the object height of, if it will allow me to even get to this, to here. So the key wall matches the height of the city, the normal road. And it really feels like it is sunken down. So if I replicate the same on this side. So if I went there to there. Obviously we bring it down to a 20. Right. It's not the correct height that I want it to be. So I set it to the right height. Now what we're saying, do I do it like this? Or do I leave it like this? These are the two options. Let me know in the comment section down below. Leave it natural, or shall I key wall it? The key wall looks pretty cool. When I do roads going across, they'll fit quite flushly. Yeah, let me know what you guys think. When it comes to this section as well, we'll also parallel it to this, so it ends just here. So you don't really notice any difference. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think is probably the best option. Right, the money's slowly getting to the point where... Oh, okay, we're now technically making a bit of profit on the park, which is good to see. But we're now getting to the point where we're almost kind of cutting across the border to making cash, but people are getting ill. So I'm now going to have to place down a little medical center, which I'll place just here. And I'll have to put a cheap little crematorium over here. Just slightly out the way. So my revenue, well, I start losing more money right now as we're making progress, but these are just the generic city services that we've got to give. So this is going to be interesting. I'm quite excited for this series and where we can kind of push it. The added weather effect kind of throws a little bit of span in the works that we got to always try and keep on top of. We want to make sure we got the demand for it. And it's going to be very interesting to how we set up this with the sunken highway as well. The big 4-lane roads. It looks quite striking when you look at everything on the snow. It is exciting, guys. But let me know what you think about SnowFool, the world's greatest name. If you did enjoy this, guys, and want to see more and want this series to start right now, then smash that like button down below. If you are new around here, make sure you do subscribe so you get notified that next episode does come out. But this one's going to be interesting. Until next time, I'll see you all soon. So, goodbye.